dancing through life, swaying and sweeping, and always keeping cool.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of Fiyero Time, Backstage at Wicked with me, Jonah Platt. Today's episode, I'm going to give you guys an inside tour of the Gershwin Theatre from top to bottom. It's a huge building. We've got 5 floors, many of which you never see when you come to the theater. So I'm going to take you from the very bottom to the very top, and we'll explore the whole place, even some places that I've never been before. So should be exciting. Let's see what's inside. Okay, so this is the first floor. You've seen this before if you've watched the vlog. All that's down here is the stage door. So this is floor 1. We got the stage door. We got the call board. EO signing in. We got Jim Claire eating some Pret. We got more people showing up for the last show of the week. So there's a lot of action down here. It's the entry and exit point for everybody coming in and out of the theater. Okay, so we're going to the level known as the trap level, which is T, which is the next level up. As you can see, it says dressing room, wardrobe, hair, and makeup. There's a ton of stuff down here. So you'll see here, if we go to the left, we'd be going to the hair and makeup, green room, ladies' dressing room. And if we go to the right, men's ensemble, dressing room, wardrobe, orchestra pit / band room / the beach house, and stage right. We'll start by checking out what's to the left, and we'll see who's in there. So this is the green room. We got some people hanging out. Pre-show, we have an ornament. Wow! Check out this sweet
guys, put an ornament on the tree.
Flathead ornament. Oh, this is fun. This is the Christmas compliment game board, where you put your name up there. There's mine. It's a little Star of David for Hanukkah. And you write little compliments, anonymous compliments, and you leave them in the slot of everybody, so everybody just gets a nice little bunch of compliments on their to celebrate the holidays. This is the female ensemble dressing room. This is where all the ladies get ready. All their costumes are stored down here. Okay, next up we're going to check out hair and makeup, run by these awesome people. Let's see who's inside. So yeah, there's quite a few wigs in our show, and this is the room where they all get worked on, which is empty now, so we can just sort of sneak around. Every single ensemble member, even ones who have, you know, a brown ponytail or short hair, like even those are wigs. And you'd never think it, but it keeps the show consistent from company to company and from year to year. Some of our awesome monkey heads. These are, as you can see, they're like a prosthetic that goes on over, and they're kind of creepy. They kind of look like Hellraiser when there's nobody in them. This is a great one. This is when Brian Munn plays Elphabet's father. This is his wig. So depending on the actor, the wigs are different. And as we come down here, you can see from all these costumes, we're probably approaching wardrobe. Hey, Michael.
Yes?
What are you working on?
I'm working on a quilt.
Oh, awesome. Michael's an expert quilter, as you've seen from the quilt hanging in my dressing room. That green one that always hangs behind me, Michael created that. Look at the detail on this coat. Every single coat is different for each person. It's pretty intricate stuff. That's pretty awesome. And last on this floor, we have the male ensemble room. So let's take a peek. This is our male ensemble room. Guys getting ready before the show. A lot of costumes down here. These guys have a lot of different changes. Okay, so that's the trap level. Now I'm going to take you upstairs, and we'll look a little bit at the second floor, but you get to see it a lot because that's where my dressing room is. So we've seen a lot of that, but I'll maybe try to show you some stuff we haven't seen yet before. We got Glinda in a bubble. We have our poppies. On our way up to the Emerald City Visitors Center, as it's known. Pretty cool. Here's stage right. We're backstage now before the show, so there's nothing going on. But you can see the stage over there. Here's my path back here. The empty Gershwin stage. You can see the map is down. It's the back of the map. Okay, now I'm going to head back to the stairs at the end of the hall, and I'll take you up, and we'll go check out the third floor. I'm going to show you the orchestra pit. It's divided into 2 sides. We got the rhythm section on this side. Just a couple of instruments in this drum room. Not too many, you know. All right, people starting to filter in here. Give you a good, you can sort of see into the other half here. You see a little bit of our audience from down here in the pit. It's pretty cool. All right, so this is one half of the third floor. This is pretty cool. A nice view of stage left. I've literally never been here before, so this is all new to me. But you can see here the citizens of Oz. All these past Wicked performers have all signed this wall. Lots of people have been through here over the years. It's pretty cool. And here, with this beautiful wreath, is our wonderful Wizard of Oz, who we spoke to last week. Ah, and here we have Ariel in her dressing room, our Nessa Rose.
Yes.
She shares a dressing room with our Glinda and Elphaba standby, who are two ghosts.
Are you giving a tour?
I am giving a tour.
It's a pretty big building.
It's huge. You can't smell it because there's no smell-o-vision, but it smells wonderful in here. One more dressing room here, which is shared by our Dr. Dillamond and our Bach. Up another flight of stairs to the fourth floor. Now on this side, we have our fabulous rehearsal room. So here we've got some exercise balls, there's some sort of weight equipment. This is where all the rehearsals happen. And here you have these pretty cool walls. I'm not sure what these are from. Like here's the scenery board, and it's all stuff from the original creation of the show and the first few years, like when the LA company started and the Chicago company started. Some of our originals up there. I think you know who they are. We got the hair and makeup board, and the costumes, and more actors who I think you recognize. Just want to give a quick shout out to @I'mFlyingFree and @LewisMyBoys69. And @ChloeAnn64 on Instagram. All three of them sent in awesome Fiyero time theme songs. They were great. I loved them, so thanks for sending those in. Fifth floor. Well, it's green. That's a good start. Okay, it appears we are in some sort of attic. This is literally the first time I've ever come up here. I have no idea what we're gonna find. Seems like the kind of place you might get murdered in a B horror film. More creepy green attic. A bed that I want nothing to do with. Isn't it fun to go exploring on Fiyero time? It's like the Blair Witch Project. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Well, I figured since it's such a long walk across here and back to my dressing room, we might as well start the Fiyero 5 right now. @AshleyBrown2007 asks, what's your daily routine before you get to the theater? So it's different for me every day, but the stuff I do every single day is I always eat before I get here. I try to eat about a half hour before my half-hour call, and I always try to exercise before I come in. For Dancing Through Life, you know, I show up on stage and I have to start dancing, like 0 to 100 really fast. So if I haven't already worked out that day and gotten my body going, it's really hard to just turn it in on a dime. Apparently there's a 6th floor. So as we go up, I'll do some more Fiyero questions. @Andrew J. Caller asks, who are my comedy/musical theater idols? The first one that jumps to mind is Adam Sandler. I grew up loving Billy Madison. It's my favorite comedy movie ever. Watched a lot of SNL growing up, all those guys in the 90s, and Will Ferrell and that whole crew. People that came out of the Groundlings Comedy Theater in LA. In terms of my musical theater idols, it's really more the composers who I fell in love with more than the performers. Sondheim, Stephen Schwartz, Rodgers and Hammerstein, and more recently Adam Guettel and Jason Robert Brown. Okay, let's check out where we are. Apparently we're on the roof of some kind. This, I'm not gonna mess with. So that's top to bottom. Pretty enormous building. @Aubrey Lay asks, have I ever worked with somebody I couldn't stand? That's a good question. Part of being a professional is never being in a situation where there's someone you, quote, can't stand. You need to be able to stand everybody. And if there's somebody who does get on your nerves or something about them bothers you, you can't let that affect the way that you carry yourself. Next question. @Sharp_Daily asks, what's the craziest thing I've seen in the audience? I don't know that it's that crazy, but we see people filming all the time in the audience. It's very distracting. though you might feel like the ushers aren't noticing you, we notice on the stage. It can be very distracting. So, no cameras during the show. Thanks. Thanks. And we're back in the dressing room for the final question. This one I like a lot. From at Peliroja89, N Peliroja. If you could make a fantasy football team with Broadway characters, who would you draft? At my quarterback spot, you want somebody who's very consistent, who you can count on to come through under pressure, and who's always thinking and adapting and rolling with the punches. So, of course, at my quarterback, I would draft Jay Pierpont Finch from How to Succeed in Business, because that guy fits that description to a T. RB1 spot, I want somebody who's just power, action, barreling through, taking action now and thinking about it later. So obviously I'm going to draft Elphaba. And my RB2 slot, I want somebody who's super relentless, maybe a little bit more nimble, someone who's going to like dart in and out of holes. So I'm going to go with Javert from Les Miserables. At my first wide receiver spot, I want somebody who's looking way downfield, who has a plan, who's thinking in the distance, as it were, who is very slippery and hard to catch. So I'm going to go with the engineer from Miss Saigon. In my other wide receiver spot, I want somebody who's not afraid of bigger, larger players coming after them, who's known for running and escaping. So there I'm going to go with Jack from Into the Woods. At the tight end spot, I want somebody who's solid, who's reliable. And in fact, there's a song, Good Old Reliable Nathan. So I'm going to go with Nathan Detroit from Guys and Dolls. In my flex spot, I want somebody who can sort of slot in to a number of different spots. So there I'm going to go Angel Dumas-Chenard from Rent. At the defense, I want somebody who's going to just murder the other team. So I'm going to go with Sweeney Todd. Kicker, I want somebody with skill, but they're kind of all interchangeable. There's not really anybody who, you'll be fine with any one of the good kickers. So I'm going to go with Louisa Von Trapp because, which one's Louisa? I don't know, but they can all sing pretty well. Thanks everybody for your questions. It's really fun getting them every week. I hope you're satisfied with the answers. Keep sending them in. You can hit me on Twitter at Jonah Platt or post something Wicked related and tag me in it on Instagram and ask me a question there. And I'll get to them as many as I can each week. Thanks. Well, that's it for me this week, guys. Thanks to the Gershwin Theatre for letting me move so effortlessly through it from top to bottom. Standing with me, as I'm sure you all recognize, is our Elphaba, Rachel Tucker. We're going to be hanging out a lot next week on next week's episode, which is the penultimate episode of Fiyero Time. So make sure to tune in next week for the next exciting installment of
Fiyero Time, hashtag Fiyero Time.
Booyah!
Dancing through life, swaying and sweeping, and always keeping